Small caps are headed off a cliff on this Russell 2000 edition of Sunday Night Charts. Let's get right into it. We've got the percentage of Russell 2000 stocks above their 50-day moving average down to under 15%. And on this means massive potential buy signal. I'm not saying you should run out and push the buy button. I'm just saying from a technical position, if you're looking at technical analysis and technical indicators, this is screaming there should be a bottom here, because look what happened before. You have a bottom here in July. You have it down, not even the same level, but you see buy signal. Look at here, December, buy signal. Now these are very short term, and now this thing's falling off a cliff. Let's take a look at the percentage of Russell 2000 over their 200-day moving average, under 29%. And looking back to last year, it hasn't been this bad. Again, it's telling you there's got to be a bottom here somewhere, but is there? Now let's look at the historics, and this is where really eye-opening. We're going to go back to the great financial crisis, and what do you see here? When the Russell 2000, the percentage of its stocks get over or above the 200-day moving average, start to get below this 30% level, it's telling you there's a bottom coming. Now it means there could be a bigger floor here, that just this trapdoor that brings the price down, but it's telling you something's got to be closed. It's got to hold at this current level, and if not, then it's screaming a buy signal. So hang tight, because we look at the percentage of Russell 2000 stocks advancing minus declining, and what do you see? People are trying to come in and buy this dip. Just certain stocks are getting smashed here, but you'll notice again, you're starting to see from a technical position just massive amounts of buy signals just lining up. Even the RSI, I know many people follow this. It's telling you, hey, there's a buy signal. But look back in December, it said to buy, and well, you didn't get much on that because it flipped over and rolled down, probably kicked a lot of people out of their stops. So is this a buy signal? Well, even the MACD is saying, hey, don't jump on this, because if you're looking for a bit of a lagging signal before you enter a position, well, of course, you've got to love the MACD for that. But look, the MACD is called, this after this bottom here. It's validated this one here. It's kind of validated this. Now, you haven't made a ton of money chasing the Russell 2000 on the MACD, but right now, it too is screaming, man, there's got to be a bottom here. But is there? Well, let's take a look at the momentum screens. Price on the moving averages is bearish, and momentum's bearish. It's obviously below all the key moving averages. It's now broken below where it was 12 months ago. I mean, it's about as bad as it can be, and we know from this chart that when that happens, it's got to be a bottom here somewhere. As many of you say, hey, when Steve's charts go red, I mean, that's a big indicator that a bottom's there. But look, well, this is a knife. It's just falling off a cliff. You look at the last 6 months, you see the volume profile. Let's just zoom out. As I've been telling you, this is a topping pattern. And then people said, no, Steve, it's not. Look here. And it took off. Well, that was your bull trap. And just things getting smashed lower. And look, there's just nothing. There's no volume here. We got to go out to the 2-year chart. And what do we see? There isn't a lot of volume, and that's the risk, because this move higher up from 170 all the way into 210, there wasn't a lot of shares traded hands, and that means there's not a lot of support here. There is a small amount right about where it's sitting now, and maybe price can come down a little bit more, but there's nothing that keeps this thing from going all the way back down into, where is this purple line, 165, and that's the danger here, because small caps lead the large caps, and while from a technical position is telling you, hey, there's got to be a bottom here, when you look at the volume profile, it's telling you a whole different picture. Now let's take a look at Momentum Time Pro. Now what's funny is I've written these numbers in once for each screen capture, and it's somehow layered them on, and I don't know how it did that, but you'll notice it's got 11 consecutive buy signals on the daily, so it's got that. The 1, 3, and 6 months have had no positions for a while now, so if you are following this, which you can still sign up for free, then you'd already know that, well, hey, there's nothing but dead air coming here, and it nailed that for sure. All right, let's go on to, because when you're done with that, you got to look at bonds, because are bonds hedging the risk on the small caps here? We got to look at TLT. We've got the RSI. It's gotten down to the below 30 here, and passed and signaled a near-term bottom. It's got near 30, signaled a near-term bottom. It's got near 30, signaling potential near-term bottom as traders came in. How about the MACD? Look at that. It's about ready to cross over potentially. We should see that on Monday. So the MACD is trying to tell you from a technical position that, hey, there's a bottom here forming in TLT, but is it indeed a risk off move? Well, let's take a look at the screens real quick. We've got price bearish still on the moving averages, momentum on the 50 and 100 day still bullish. And now perking above its 9-day moving average, not a big deal. 1, 6, and 12-month momentum they're negative, but they're fighting back. That means that's what it's telling you. They're negative, but they're moving higher, and that's usually a good sign that potentially a bottom's forming. Let's take a look at the charts of TLT, and then we're going to overlay the two. And what do you see? It came down into this heavy zone of volume, and we'll zoom into the last 1 year to put more perspective on this. It got down to where this bigger chunk of volume was. You see where previous buyers came in and the sellers got exhausted, and prices are moving up. Still remains below the 200-day moving average. Got some volume here to work its way up. You can see there's all the sellers were way up here, so potentially it's got some room to run higher. But when you overlay, let's take a look at IWM versus TLT. We'll add the study here just to give you a picture. It doesn't look like the market's signaling this as a risk off event just yet. We got to turn off the volume profile so we can see it. Oops, and guess what I did? I cleared off the TLT part. So you ever wondered, does Steve edit his videos? Well, the answer is no, he doesn't. It's all one cut. It's a little more fun that way. So what you can see, let's go out to the weekly charts, is you can have both TLT and IWM moving down. It's not until all the market figures out that this just isn't a correction, something worse, that all of a sudden TLT starts to rally. We're perhaps getting some early indicators that that is indeed happening now. As how is Momentum Timer Pro on this one? Well, it's got 22 days of consecutive buy signals, no position now on the 1, 3, or 6 month, which is, I still think the screen capturing is funny. What it's telling you, and we see with the MACD and the RSA, that if you are on the list for Momentum Timer Pro, when you see these big negative numbers that a reversal at some point is starting to come. We have flagged that, and that's what we're starting to see in the indicators. And with that, we could see a risk off move. We'll see. We'll see you back. One more coming later today. I'm your host, Steven Van Metre. Content of this video is provided as educational information only. It's not intended to provide investment or advice. Videos not to be construed as recognition or solicitation by a security, financial instrument, or participate in any particular trading strategy. This video was prepared by Steven Van Metre. Personal capacity. Opinions expressed in this video that do not affect the view of Atlas Financial Advising or Steven Van Metre Financial.